Hello everyone, this is Karen Stewart, and I'm hoping that this conference goes very well, and I do apologize that I cannot be there. There are lots of things going on that that really just basically don't allow me to come, but I am so very sorry because I would love to have been there, and I would like to have met so many of you, or if not every one of you in person that I've been speaking with for a while. So I hope to do that at some point in time. I hope to meet most of you in person, but I do ask your forgiveness that I could not attend this time. Now, instead of telling my story, it's already out there, and frankly I'm kind of sick of telling it, except that it does at times give us an open door so that other stories can come out. So, my dog is nuzzling me. Okay, baby. But here's, he's gonna lick me. All right, hey Dash. Okay, nope, can't see him. All right, there he is. You wanna see? Okay, there you go, baby. All right, well, like I said, I'm kind of sick of my story. So what I thought I would do is read something to you called What is the Lie? Which I tell people more or less wrote itself. Okay, well, I'm going to begin before my dog disrupts me again. All right, what is the lie? Thousands upon thousands of targeted individuals, better described as falsely accused innocent people, are being illegally used, human trafficked, as techno-chum to feed the growing voracious Orwellian police state. Through legalistic sleight of hand by Homeland Security, this ruse is really to not only bloat the number of perceived terrorists on the watch list, to validate the hypergrowth of unnecessary security overlords, but also to provide unwilling, non-consensual human test subjects for draconian electronic or kinetic weaponry manufacturers to use on them, as well as subjects for unwelcome, covert, invasive technologies forced upon them secretly by complicit medical and high-tech companies that maim, torture, kill to gather data for presumably their stockholders or clients as to the efficacy of these Franken technologies. These techno-terrorists consider citizens' property, damaged or diseased citizens as gold mines, and healthy citizens as worthless unless appropriated for use as guinea pigs. The victims who have been blindsided by this emergent godless capitalism and godless science predation in what will be known as the 21st century dark ages inevitably ponder what the lie could possibly be that is being told to induce neighbors, colleagues, service people, post office workers, utility workers, clergy, law enforcement, nurses, doctors, dentists, military, EMTs, family members, et al., to knowingly conspire to purposely do them grievous harm, even unto death. What has happened to these now counterfeit people, this society, to turn them into sneaky, sociopathic sadists and avaricious and relentless mercenaries? How has this complete devolution of humanity and civilization been accomplished under the noses of almost every country in the world, with no one noticing that civilization is now a complete facade, ready to collapse at any moment into complete anarchy? How did humanity devolve into deriving economic sustenance not from creativity, labor, and production, but from a secret predator versus prey society reminiscent of the Morlock and Eloy in H.G. Wells' Time Machine, where futuristic humanity had split into two factions: the subhuman subterranean beasts living underground, out of the light of day, and the beautiful innocent Eloy living on the surface of the earth, who a hapless time traveler from the 19th century London stumbled upon in his travels. To his horror, he found that the Morlock were farming the Eloy, providing food while keeping them ignorant of how to sustain themselves, then violently harvesting several routinely to feed the homo carnivorous Morlock. Under the guise of Homeland Security, aka national security, this is being done with the world's population right now. Under the noses of the public, which is largely asleep, though many through self-induced denial, which can be quite aggressively expressed if challenged with facts. This rampant self-denial, this rabid normalcy bias of a dying society, which can be defined as the antithesis of the self-preservation instinct, can manifest as insulting and belittling those trying to warn society of or even portraying them as mad and dangerous and in need of being locked away to get them and their really inconvenient truth out of the public arena as quickly as possible. Those busy dancing on the deck of the Titanic refuse to acknowledge, much less heed, the voices crying in the wilderness, though they are increasing in volume because they are indeed increasing in number, which signifies the spread of this cancer that ultimately endangers all. What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to help a rogue government illegally and unconstitutionally attack and destroy their innocent neighbors, even with covert, highly advanced weapons of war, directed energy weapons, sonic weapons, such as used in Cuba in 2017? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to trample the Constitution, civil and human rights of their innocent neighbors without cause, or that they, not being law enforcement, have any right to be involved at all? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have the right to overtly or covertly watch, follow, stalk, harass, report on the daily lives of their innocent neighbors? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to spread lies, gossip, false accusations, unfounded accusations, or libel about their innocent neighbors? What is the lie that would make decent people think that they have a right to vandalize the property, vehicles, personal effects, etc. of their innocent neighbors? What is the lie that would make supposed decent people think that they have a right to steal, maim, poison, gut, stab, shoot their beloved pets of their innocent neighbors? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to break into the homes of their neighbors and destroy or steal personal items like photo albums, correspondence, irreplaceable souvenirs of the innocent neighbor's life in order to inflict as much emotional damage as possible? What is the lie that would make supposed decent people think that they have a right to participate in coordinated aggressive driving attacks or staged accidents or hit and runs on their innocent neighbors, scaring, injuring, or killing them? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to make false reports to law enforcement about their innocent neighbors anytime they can think of a false accusation? What is the lie that would make supposed decent people think that they have the right to make threatening phone calls or send threatening emails or letters to their innocent neighbors? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to leave dead and decaying animals on the property of their innocent neighbors? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to steal or destroy the postal mail, packages, parcels, registered letters, FOIA or FOIA responses of their innocent neighbors with or without the help of postal workers or private delivery services? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to use the personal information of their innocent neighbors to access their bank accounts or credit cards for personal gain? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to poison the food or drink with toxins, mold, nanotech, or morgellons of their innocent neighbors, either via break-ins or tampering or with the preparation of restaurant food? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to overtly or covertly spray their innocent neighbors or their homes with poisons and noxious chemicals? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to use their professional skills and status as service industry personnel, such as car mechanics, plumbers, electricians, banking staff, or public servants, such as city, local officials, to trample the rights of their innocent neighbors by purposely providing sometimes dangerously substandard or blatantly fraudulent services? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have the right to abuse the law in their capacity as law enforcement, lawyers, district attorneys, prosecuting attorneys, defense attorneys, judges, clerks, etc.? As a means to slander, set up, falsely incarcerate, oppress, and destroy their innocent neighbors. What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to use their medical training and positions to not only covertly implant unneeded and unwanted medical chips and other medical devices, but to also sabotage medical tests results, replace correct assessments with false, switch x-rays, MRIs, PET scans to hide the physical damage being done to their innocent neighbors in order to disallow proper care until it's too late, as well as cover up grievous criminal injury and ultimately murder? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to use their training as mental health care professionals to lie about their innocent neighbors or clients, imagining being ridiculed, bullied, viciously slandered, unconscionably harassed 24/7, as well as emotionally and physically injured, to include rape, and sodomy? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to sabotage their innocent neighbor's ability to get and retain a job or career? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have a right to monetary and material gain through heinous and criminal abuse of their innocent neighbors? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that they have the moral high ground to viciously exploit and destroy their innocent neighbors through every crime possible, while somehow excusing it with baseless fantasy accusations against their innocent neighbors, whom they have never witnessed do anything wrong, much less depravedly criminal like their own sustained actions? What is the lie that would make supposed decent people think that they can hide their crimes behind treasonous criminal officials and unconstitutional laws forever? What is the lie that would make supposedly decent people think that their heretofore unimaginable crimes of hive-minded depravity will be considered patriotic or heroic, or that they will go down in history as anything but subhuman monsters whose existence was little more than that of a devolved, parasitic, and cannibalistic counterfeit human mutation that was universally reviled and exterminated as soon as possible by an outraged and horrified moral force within humanity proper, which finally awakened to the plight of their innocent neighbors and recognized the nearly completed extinction-level event. So, like I said, this is something that was rolling around in my head and kind of just wrote itself. I hope that people may find it useful. You certainly are welcome to copies of it. I have given it to Allison, and I would be more than happy to send it to anyone who emails me. And I think that's an email that's pretty well known, but it is kams56@me.com, and if you would like a copy, I will be more than happy to send it to you. Like I said, I hope it's of use to anybody who actually wants a copy, and I'm hoping that you may be able to wake up people with this, and with many other things that people have written. So I do wish you well, and I personally think that this is going to be exposed and over in the next few months. I am hoping before 2018, but in my heart I really believe it's before 2019, and we're probably 6 months, within 6 months or so of having this exposed, I hope. Because we have had some breakthroughs. I've been told by a naval commander that retired naval commander, that he's well aware of what's going on. So that gives me hope, and I ask him to please spread the word among military and retired military, and to remind them of their oaths to protect the country against domestic terrorists as well, domestic enemies. And whoever thinks that this is legal to do, I'm sorry, but the Constitution and all kinds of laws say that no, it's not. And I repeat myself when I say that Marbury versus Madison was a Supreme Court decision that early on challenged whether a law could be passed in the United States or on U.S. territory that actually contradicted the Constitution. Well, the Supreme Court took 10 years to study everything that any of the founders had written to assess their thoughts on this, their intentions. And after 10 years, Marbury versus Madison was decided that any law that was passed that was contrary to the Constitution is void. So all of these directives, rules, regulations, post 9/11 laws that go contrary to the Constitution, they are void. But we just have to now convince people to actually act within the Constitution and stop allowing this to be a post-Constitution America. Because a post-Constitution America is a dead America. It's gone, it's over, and humanity won't come back from it. But I think that basically they picked on the wrong people. And those people are you and me and all of the rest of us. So that's something to tell your children, your grandchildren, is that you turn back the tide that would have destroyed humanity. So you guys have a wonderful conference, and take heart, because so many people are working so very hard, and there are cracks forming in this cover story. So you guys take care. God bless. Love you all. Okay? Bye-bye.